So I know it's going to come up, so I'm going to do it anyways. I'm sure one of you is going to ask, or at least want to know, how I wired up my Tortoise switch machine. So I'm going to show you how I did that. I made up this diagram because it's dark underneath my layout and I've already wired everything up. This will be what I'm going to use to demonstrate where wires go which way. Which wires go what way. There we go. Which wires go what way to connect into my switch machine. I'll try to demonstrate it to you anyways how I did this. First things first, you're going to need a power source, 12 volts or less output. I am just using my old power pack, my DC power pack, just because it's DC. I did try to use something else, but for some reason we couldn't get that to work. So this is what we're using, and these are our 2 wires. Obviously, got to complete a circuit, you need 2 wires. Unfortunately, they're also the same wires that I use for my bus wires. I mean, they're not the same, but they're from the same thing of wire because it's the most abundant and honestly easier to work with than the much thicker frayed wire stuff, which I don't have much of. And like I said, it's thicker. As you can see, it's quite a bit thicker than the single-stranded copper, which I have just wound together. So this goes up into our switch, and I've used just one moment, the toggle switch that has 6 terminals, screw terminals. I'm not going to take the one out because it took me forever to put it in, so I'm just going to use the other one. 6 terminals on the back, and like I said, I'll show you on my diagram. Pretty much either the top 2 or the bottom 2 are going to have your power coming in, and then you're going to run jumpers diagonally across to the next corner. So one power wire comes in here, and then you also run a cable from here up to the corner. And the other power wire goes in the other side, and you run a cable from here to here, which leaves then the middle 2 as your output. So what happens is, when your switch is one way, it's going to run the power through the way it comes in here and out your output. When you flip it the other way, it's going to draw the power from here where it's been reversed. So the power that does come in on the right comes out the left, and the power that goes in on the left goes out the right. And so this is what's going to allow your switch motor to run the opposite direction. And then you run the wires out from here and into terminals 1 and 8. As previously stated, hard to see because it is dark down here. I guess I can use my flashlight, and you can see that the far left and the far right terminals have wires soldered to them. Those are my power wires. Those are the only wires that I know what to do with. Yeah. This is the way my switch looks. It's a little bit messy. You can see the power wires go in to the top. And then you have the jumpers, which go from one corner to the other on both sides, as well as the output there from the middle terminals. And this is how my switch has been wired. So I know this angle sucks, so I'm going to try and make it work. I'm just going to draw this out. I've already done a very bad job. I'm not an artist for a reason. But basically, this is our output, our DC power supply, and we have our 2 terminals to which we're going to run this wire. I'm going to do it how I did mine. It goes into the top, and the other side is going to jump over that wire and come around also into the top. Next, we have to run our jumpers. So I have soldered mine so that this one will cross over to this terminal, and this wire crosses, jump that, this terminal, and it goes into there. So now our power supply and our switch is set. So like I said, when the switch is one way, it's going to run just the straight power out these middle ones. When you flip it the other way, it's going to take from here, because the power has then essentially been flipped. So I guess the other way of doing this is splitting these wires and running two wires. One would go to this side, and from that same wire the other would go to the opposite side. But this is just the easiest way with these jumpers to make that neat. Next, we're going to do our outputs. It doesn't matter which way they go, so I'm just going to do this. This is my 8, which solders on to terminal 8 of your switch machine. And we're just going to run this guy to terminal 1, solder that one on, flip on your power, and give your switch a few flips, and you should see your switch start to move once you've got that hooked up with the switch machine. So that is how I have wired my switch machine. That is what enables this motion to work. So this is one of these ways, I don't know which, but the power is going straight through. Flip it the other way. It takes the power alternated from those jumpers, and that is what causes this to work. Because it's a Tortoise, it will allow the power to be run continuously through, so you don't need a spring-thrown switch. You really don't even need one that has a middle. These are just, I think, the only ones I could find at Farm and Fleet. If I can find some that only have the up and down positions off of this, that'd be amazing, because I don't need it. But that's how I did this. If you have questions, comments, drop them below. Shoot me an email. Like us on Facebook. I'm very social most of the time. Just don't invite me to a party and we'll be good. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.